We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone.
हम ज़मीन के रहने वालों की तरफ से आपको खुशामदीद कहते हैं।
Hola y saludos a todos.
Greetings and friendly wishes to all who may encounter this Voyager and receive this message.
Hello, greetings mga ka-spacers natin out there from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And sa lahat ng ating mga ka-spacers out there, those who are watching worldwide and net-wide, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat and welcome to this episode of COSMOQUEST, a podcast. So mga ka-spacers, we'll continue with our discussion of life beyond planet Earth. And for this episode, we will be focusing on our search for extraterrestrial life and possibly intelligent life outside our solar system. Does life exist on an extrasolar planet? And how can we find it? So ayan po ang pag-uusapan natin in this episode of COSMOQUEST. Now mga ka-spacers, so bilang tulong nyo na rin sa akin sa ating advocacy so that we can continue with this advocacy of spreading the good news of science, technology, and astronomy, please like and share this episode of COSMOQUEST so that we could reach more people, lalong-lalo na po yung mga estudyante, so that we can inspire them and so that they would be engaged in the sciences, lalong-lalo na po ang astronomy. So like and share this episode of COSMOQUEST. And also mga ka-spacers, para mapagpatuloy na rin natin yung ating advocacy of spreading the good news of science and technology, please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Science Guy, Prof Jun CAJIGAL. Also like and follow the Facebook page of the Vedan Society of Young Astronomers, and also like, follow the Facebook page of the Skywatcher Society of Las Piñas and the Science Guy Ka-Spacers channel. So let us now proceed with our discussion on our search for extraterrestrial life and possibly intelligent life outside our solar system. Now, one of the key figures in our search for extraterrestrial life and possibly intelligent life outside our solar system was Frank Drake. Frank Drake was an American astronomer and astrophysicist. He was involved in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, including the founding of SETI. SETI is the acronym for Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, mounting the first observational attempts at detecting extraterrestrial communications in 1960 and developing the Drake's equation. So, ito po mga ka-spacers, here is a sample of the Drake's equation. Now mga ka-spacers, I am not a mathematician, I am not even an astrophysicist para maipaliwanag ko yung mathematical basis of the Drake's equation. But let me tell you this mga ka-spacers, that there are billions and billions of stars in our Milky Way galaxy alone. And there are billions and billions of galaxies in our observable universe. And mga ka-spacers, so kung ganon, isang damakmak na between sa Milky Way and there are billions of galaxies in our observable universe, then sa dami ng mga between na yan, there must be planets that can support life, mga ka-spacers. And since there are a billion G stars, ang yung G stars po parang yung sun natin, our sun is a class G star. So if there is only one in a billion G stars that has the right set of conditions to make a planet like our own planet Earth, and since there are billions of G stars na parang yung sun natin in the observable universe, then there is a possibility that there may be other planets like Earth with biospheres. So hindi natin po maalis yung posibilidad na yan. So mga ka-spacers, if there is really a possibility that other planets may exist similar to Earth with biospheres similar to Earth, then have we discovered planets outside our solar system? So ang sagot dyan mga ka-spacers is yes. No, we have discovered planets outside our solar system, and ang tawag natin sa kanila ay mga exoplanets. And the Kepler Space Telescope was crucial in the discovery of those exoplanets. The Kepler Space Telescope is a space observatory launched by NASA to discover Earth-sized planets orbiting other stars. And this space telescope, mga ka-spacers, was named after the renowned astronomer Johannes Kepler. The spacecraft was launched on March 7, 2009 into an Earth-trailing heliocentric orbit. So ito yung orbit ng Kepler Space Telescope. And this space telescope was designed to discover exoplanets. So ang tanong, mga ka-spacers, how does the Kepler Space Telescope identify an exoplanet? Now, there is a method that is used by NASA in identifying an exoplanet through the Kepler Space Telescope, and this is known as the transit method. The transit method is based on the observation of a star's small drop in its brightness. This occurs when the orbit of one of the star's planets passes or transits in front of that star. So, ang ibig lang sabihin nito, mga ka-spacers, kung may exoplanet nga dun sa star na yan at dumaan sa harapan niya, there is a decrease in the apparent brightness of the star. And ito yung madedetect ng spectrograph ng Kepler Space Telescope. So as you could see here in this animation, so habang dumaan yung exoplanet sa harapan ng star or as the planet transits in front of the star, nahaharangan niya yung light. So there is a decrease in its apparent brightness na nare-record ng spectrograph ng Kepler Space Telescope. So this is what we call as the transit method. So mga ka-spacers, this is how the Kepler Space Telescope detects and identifies an exoplanet. Now, at the moment, we have the James Webb Telescope. The James Webb Telescope is like nothing ever launched into space kasi malaki po siya, no? Much bigger than the Kepler Space Telescope. And it could explore the universe's very first stars, uncover evidence of extraterrestrial life. So sa pamamagitan ng James Webb Telescope, mas marami pa ho tayong madedetect at ma-identify na exoplanets. Now, our prime candidate worlds in the search for life beyond the solar system are terrestrial type planets within their habitable zones of their stars. So ito po yung hinahanap natin ng mga exoplanets. Hindi naman po tayo basta maghahanap at mag-identify ng exoplanets. So ang hinahanap po natin ng mga exoplanets ay mga terrestrial type planets na nasa kanilang habitable zones of their stars. So at the moment, marami na ho tayong na-identify na exoplanets thanks to the Kepler Space Telescope. And meron na rin pong na-identify na mga exoplanets within their habitable zones. So ang tanong ngayon, is there life on those potential habitable exoplanets discovered by the Kepler Space Telescope? So hindi pa ho natin alam, no? We don't know. Pero the search still continues. Kaya nilaunch po yung James Webb Telescope. So mga ka-spacers, probably we will have one episode of COSMOQUEST dedicated to the discussion of the Kepler Space Telescope and yung James Webb Telescope. Now, the Kepler Space Telescope had really helped us discover exoplanets. So as you could see in this chart, since 2014, the Kepler Space Telescope had discovered so many exoplanets. So, ang tanong ngayon, can we visit these exoplanets? Now, the obvious answer there is no. We cannot go, we cannot visit to those exoplanets because of their extreme distance. Hindi po natin mabibisita at mapupuntahan yung mga exoplanets na yan na na-discover ng Kepler Space Telescope dahil napakalayo po nila no, due to their extreme distance, hindi po natin mapupuntahan o mabibisita yung mga exoplanets na yan. So ang tanong, if we cannot go, then paano natin malalaman kung meron ng life dun sa mga exoplanets na yan? If we can't go, then how? How do we know? How do we determine if there is life on any of those exoplanets? So ang isang technique para malaman natin if there is really life on those exoplanets would be the search for biomarkers. So these biomarkers, mga ka-spacers, can help us determine if any of those exoplanets may support life. These biomarkers should involve changes in atmospheric or surface chemistry that can only be the result of life. So ano itong mga biomarkers na hinahanap ng ating mga astrobiologists that would indicate that that exoplanet may support life? Now, one biomarker is oxygen, the presence of oxygen in that exoplanet. So, anong implication pag makahanap sila ng oxygen in any of those exoplanets? Now, if you find oxygen, probably some photosynthetic organism must have created it. And we all know in basic biology that one of the byproducts of photosynthesis is oxygen. So kung meron silang ma-discover na oxygen in any of those exoplanets, isa lang ang ibig sabihin yan, that there might be some photosynthetic organisms in that exoplanet. So yan ang hinahanap, yung oxygen, which is a very important biomarker. Now another important biomarker na hinahanap ng ating mga astrobiologists in the search for life in any of those exoplanets is methane. Now methane is produced by microorganisms. Without the presence of life, methane would quickly oxidize and disappear from the atmosphere. Ngayon, anong significance nito kung meron silang makitang methane? So yung methane na yan probably is produced by microorganisms and it is continuously produced by microorganisms. So ang ibig lang sabihin nito, yung planeta na yung exoplanet na yan may contain microorganisms that produces methane continuously kung may makita po silang methane. So very important itong biomarker na methane. So the discovery, kung meron po silang madidiscover na methane, may indicate that exoplanet may support life. So ayan po mga ka-spacer. So there's large amounts of oxygen and methane in the atmosphere of any of those exoplanets would be a smoking gun. So yun po yung magde-determine really kung yung exoplanet na yan can support life. So mga ka-spacers, kung makadiscover sila ng oxygen or methane in any of those exoplanets, talagang magiging smoking ganyan. Ibig sabihin yan, magiging historic yan, yung pag-discover ng oxygen and methane in any of those exoplanets, and talagang susubaybayan yan ng ating mga astrobiologists and yung mga astronomers natin. Because if kung makahanap sila ng oxygen or methane in any of those exoplanets, that would only indicate one thing, na yung oxygen and methane ay gawa yan ng mga microorganisms, and most probably yung exoplanet na yan may support those microorganisms. So ayan po yung hinahanap ng mga astrobiologists natin, yung mga astronomers natin, yung mga biomarkers na yan. And ang NASA, meron silang pinaplano. So NASA is planning for a mission para makahanap ng mga biomarkers na yan with NASA's Terrestrial Planet Finder. So siguro sa mga susunod na taon, baka sa katuparan na ng NASA itong Terrestrial Planet Finder. This space probe is equipped with a spectroscope. So yung technique na ito na spectroscopy should allow atmospheric chemists and microbiologists, yung mga astrobiologists natin, to use the relative amounts of gases yan like oxygen, carbon dioxide, water vapor, ozone, and methane, yung mga biomarkers na yan, to find an extrasolar planet na pwedeng mag-support ng life. So ayun po yung pinaplano ng NASA, itong NASA's Terrestrial Planet Finder equipped with a spectroscope. So yun ang gagamitin po na technique, spectroscopy, sa paghahanap ng mga biomarkers na yan. So mga ka-spacers, that is NASA's Terrestrial Planet Finder na ang ganyang technique na gagamitin ay spectroscopy in the search for those biomarkers. So ang tanong ngayon mga ka-spacers, aside from the Kepler Space Telescope or isabit na rin po natin yung James Webb Telescope, what other methods are employed to search for life or possibly intelligent life outside the solar system? So maraming methods ang ginagamit ngayon, and one of them is radio astronomy. So sa pamamagitan ng mga giant antennas na ito na nakatutok po sa kalawakan, sana makadetect po sila ng mga signals na probably made by intelligent life. So hanggang ngayon po nakatutok yung mga large radio telescope antennas na yan sa kalawakan para maghanap ng mga signals na yan na possibly made by extraterrestrial intelligent life. And dito po nagawa na establish yung SETI. SETI is the acronym for the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. The SETI Institute uses radio and optical telescopes to search for signals that might be emitted by technologically advanced life forms. So yun po yung sinabi ko kanina. The Allen Telescope Array is just an example of that. So itong telescope na ito, radio telescope na Allen Telescope Array, is being developed at Hat Creek, California to greatly expand the SETI search. And ginamit na rin po yung Arecibo radio telescope sa paghahanap ng mga signals na yan that probably emitted by technologically advanced life forms. So mga ka-spacers, here is a picture of the Allen Telescope Array that is now used by SETI in the search for extraterrestrial or possibly extraterrestrial intelligent life. So ang hinahanap nila ay mga signals that may probably be emitted by intelligent beings. And ito din po yung Arecibo Radio Telescope na ginamit ng SETI Institute in the search for extraterrestrial intelligent life. Kaya lang po, di ba, we all know na itong Arecibo Radio Telescope ay na-decommission na. Alright, so ano yung results ngayon ng SETI? Nakahanap ba sila ng mga signals emitted by technologically advanced beings? So nakadetect din sila ng mga signals, and karamihan po sa kanila ay mga signals na gawa natin, no? Human sources. Now sometimes yung mga signals na yan are identified but still hindi konfirmado kung talagang yung mga signals na yan ay emitted by technologically advanced life forms outside our solar system. So hanggang ngayon po wala pa ho tayong nahahanap, no? No announcements before sufficient confirmation can be made. So meron na silang na-detect kaya lang kino-confirm pa po ng SETI. So mga ka-spacers, ano nga ba ang result ng SETI search? Now the answer is medyo inconclusive pa rin, though marami na pong na-detect ang SETI na unusual signals na baka lang ginawa yan ng mga technologically advanced life forms outside the solar system. So kino-confirm pa ho, and that is what science is all about. Hindi tayo basta-basta nagmamarites pag may na-detect tayo na signal may aliens na. So we need to confirm Though marami na pong na-detect na mga unusual signals, still ang SETI ay kino-confirm pa rin kung yung mga signals na yan ay talagang gawa ng mga technologically advanced alien life forms. So ang tanong ngayon, ito ba ay sayang? Is this a wasted effort of SETI? Now, have we detected anything? Now, meron po mga ka-spacers. Ang tawag po dyan ay yung the wow signal. The wow signal was a strong narrow-band radio signal detected on August 15, 1977. And this was detected by the Ohio State University's Big Ear telescope in the United States. Then it was used by SETI in their search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Now itong wow signal na to appeared to come from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius and bore the expected hallmarks of extraterrestrial origin. So mga ka-spacers, here is a photo of the Big Ear radio telescope at Ohio State University. And this telescope detected that unusual radio signal. It was astronomer Jerry R. Eman who discovered this anomaly a few days later while reviewing the recorded data. And Jerry Eman was so impressed that he encircled on the computer printout the unusual signals intensity. Yun nakalagay dito sa photo na 6EQUJ5. And he was so impressed by this unusual signal and he wrote the comment, wow. So naging sikat itong recorded data na to and we call it now as the wow signal. So mga ka-spacers, the whole world was shocked by knowing na nakareceive pala tayo ng ganitong unusual radio signal from outer space. And many astronomers and astrobiologists believed that this wow signal was made by some intelligent extraterrestrial life or tawagin na natin po na aliens. So kung nakareceive tayo ng ganitong klaseng message from outer space, dapat mag-respond po tayo. And that we did. Nag-respond po tayo. In November 16 of 1974, a 169 seconds message was sent by the Arecibo radio telescope towards the globular cluster M13 at 25,000 light years away. And ito po yung tinatawag nila na Arecibo message. The Arecibo message was our first attempt to communicate with extra intelligent life forms or yung aliens na tinatawag natin. And this coded binary message was written by a few scientists including Carl Sagan and Frank Drake. So ito po yung coded binary message na pinadala po natin through the Arecibo radio telescope. And tignan natin po kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng coded binary message na ito. So yung first set of symbols represent the numbers 1 to 10. Ayan po. So yung first set of binary coded signals represents the numbers 1 to 10 from right to left. Then the second set of coded binary signals represents the atomic numbers of key biological elements like oxygen, carbon, nitrogen. Ayan po. And the next set of coded binary signals represents the formulas for sugars and bases in nucleotides of DNA. So ito po yung mga nucleotides na adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. So apat po yan, no? And the next set of coded binary signals represents the double helix model of DNA. Na ayan, kitang-kita po na yung double helix model ng DNA. Then the next set of coded message represents the human population. Okay, and nandyan din po yung figure ng human. Ayan po, kitang-kita po yung figure ng human. Alright? Then the next set of coded message represents the solar system. Yung malaking dot na yan that represents the sun And yung dot na nakadisplay, yung nakataas, represents the planet Earth. And the last set of coded binary signals represents the Arecibo telescope dish that transmitted the message. So, ito po yung Arecibo message. No? Ito po yung ibig sabihin ng mensahe na to na pinadala natin dun sa globular cluster M13. So, isn't that fascinating, mga ka-spacers? So, mga ka-spacers, since we were able to send that message through the Arecibo radio telescope in response to the wow signal, we are now waiting for their reply. And up to now, naghihintay pa rin po tayo ng reply na galing sa kanila. Many astronomers, astrobiologists believe na yung wow signal na yan that was received before really came from extraterrestrial intelligent life. Pero in spite na nakapag-send po tayo ng reply from them, nag-send tayo ng message through the Arecibo radio telescope, bakit wala pa ho tayong natatanggap na response sa kanila? So ang tanong ngayon, if there is really a high possibility for extraterrestrial intelligent life, then where is everybody? Bakit wala pa tayong natatanggap na response sa kanila? Nasaan na yung mga aliens na yan? Where is everybody? And ito yung sinasagot ni Enrico Fermi through the so-called Fermi paradox. Enrico Fermi estimated na maraming intelligent civilizations in the observable universe. Isang damakmak na intelligent civilizations ang nandyan out there in our observable universe. Then after millions of years of technological progress, an alien civilization should be capable of long-distance space travel. So dapat binibisita ngayon nila tayo, or at least they are attempting to communicate with us. So ang tanong ngayon ni Enrico Fermi, bakit wala tayong natatanggap? Where is everyone? Nasaan yung mga aliens na yan? So mga ka-spacers, ito yung tinatanong ni Enrico Fermi, at naniniwala tayo na in spite of the fact that there are many intelligent civilizations out there in the observable universe, and siguro naman after millions of years of technological progress, alien civilization should be capable of long-distance space travel, or at least advance yung civilization nila to make contact or communication with us. So bakit hindi sila nagpaparamdam? Bakit wala tayong nare-receive na reply? In spite of the fact na nag-send po tayo ng message through the Arecibo radio telescope. So these are the possible solutions to the Fermi paradox. At yung mga posibleng kasagutan kung bakit hindi po sila nagpaparamdam sa atin. Now, one possible solution to the Fermi paradox is this, that we are alone. We are the first, and there is no galactic civilization. So, ang ibig lang pong sabihin nito, mga ka-spacers, kaya wala tayong nare-receive na reply at wala tayong nararamdaman na meron ngang mga intelligent civilizations out there, kasi wala talaga. We are alone. We are the first. And wala talagang aliens. There is no intergalactic civilizations. Kaya wala tayong nare-receive na reply. So, tayo lang yun natatangi. We are alone and we are the first, and there is no intergalactic civilization. So mga ka-spacers, another possible solution to the Fermi paradox kung bakit walang nagpaparamdam sa atin, where is everybody and no one is attempting to communicate with us, is this, that civilizations are common, mga ka-spacers. Maraming intelligent civilizations out there in the observable universe. Kaya lang no one has colonized the galaxy. No one had visited planet Earth. No one had even attempted to communicate with us. Ang tanong bakit? Now, one possible reason kaya no one has colonized the galaxy, no intelligent civilizations had even visited our planet is this, that may be because of technological difficulties. Interstellar travel is difficult mga ka-spacers, or vastly more expensive or dangerous than we think. So ang ibig lang sabihin nito, kung tayo nga mga ka-spacers, diba hirap na rin po tayo sa ating space program. Mahirap po magpadala ng astronauts even in the International Space Station. Maraming technological difficulties and the astronauts must face the challenges like microgravity, yung food supply, yung air nila, and a lot of other factors like radiation, yung psychological factors dun sa pagditira sa space. So maraming bagay po. So yung technological difficulties of space travel, mahirap. Kung tayo nga po dito sa planeta natin ay nahihirapan tayo sa space travel, yung pagpunta na lang po sa buwan or even in orbit around Earth ay mahirap. What more to mga aliens na to? And also we have to consider yung propulsion and yung distance unless they are capable of light speed like yung sa Star Trek, or they are capable of warp drive. Kaya lang, I don't know kung meron pang technology na ganyan of warp drive, no? So, yung technological barriers ay napakahirap po. So, siguro ganun din sa kanila. Kaya walang bumibisita sa atin, no? Yung technological difficulties of space travel. And space travel is expensive. Look at the Apollo program. The Americans have spent billions of dollars sa kanilang lunar program. So siguro ganun din po ang na-experience nitong mga intelligent civilizations out there. Baka namamahalan sila in their interstellar travel attempts. And talagang panganib ang space travel. They have to deal with psychological factors, radiation, microgravity, and a lot of things. Kaya siguro wala pang bumibisita sa atin dito because of technological difficulties, yung expenses of space travel, and yung mga challenges in traveling through space. So yun po mga ka-spacers. So mga ka-spacers, another possible solution to the Fermi paradox kung bakit wala tayong nare-receive na reply or wala po nagpaparamdam sa atin na intelligent civilizations out there is this, that maybe mga ka-spacers, our desire to explore is unusual and other societies would not choose to leave their stars. So ang ibig lang sabihin nito, yung ating desire, yung passion to explore outer space is unique. May kasabihan nga tayo mga ka-spacers that the Earth is the cradle of humanity. But we cannot stay in this cradle forever. So ang ibig lang sabihin nito, yung ating passion, yung desire natin to explore outer space ay nasa dugo natin. That's why we have pushed through with our space program. We have stepped foot on the moon and meron na tayong parang habitat in orbit through the International Space Station. At marami ho tayong ginagawa to explore outer space. Nagpapadala tayo ng mga space probes to explore the planets. So etong desire natin to explore outer space is unique. And siguro to mga intelligent civilizations out there, ayaw nilang mag-explore, ayaw talaga nilang umalis sa kanilang cradle. Kaya walang bumibisita sa atin at wala po nagpaparamdam sa atin na intelligent civilizations out there kasi they would not choose to leave their stars and ayaw din nila siguro mag-attempt to communicate with us. So yung ating desire to explore outer space is unique in the human race because we don't want to stay in this cradle forever. So mga ka-spacers, another possible solution to the Fermi paradox kung bakit hindi pa tayo nakaka-receive ng response from intelligent extraterrestrial civilizations is this, that maybe those intelligent extraterrestrial civilizations tend to destroy themselves. So, anong ibig sabihin nito? Now, the reason why intergalactic civilizations tend to destroy themselves is somewhat related to their advancement in science and technology. Ngayon dito po sa mundo natin, here on Earth, the progress and the advancement of science and technology was driven by two factors, mga ka-spacers. Number one, the struggle for domination, and number two, the desire for an easy life. Now, itong struggle for domination usually leads to complete destruction. And ito po yung naranasan natin nung World War I and World War II, and muntik na po tayo mag World War III. While the desire for an easy life may lead to biological or mental degradation. Now mga ka-spacers, possible means of annihilation of intergalactic civilizations are many, and this includes the following: war, gera, alright, that will lead to annihilation of these civilizations. Accidental environmental contamination or damage, or even the development of biotechnology like yung dinitipic sa mga sci-fi movies like yung Resident Evil, or synthetic life like mirror life forms, or even resource depletion, yung pag-abuso ng mga natural resources, climate change, or poorly designed artificial intelligence. So ito yung mga dahilan siguro kung bakit ang mga intergalactic civilizations tend to destroy themselves, at muntik na tayo dyan mga ka-spacers. And lastly mga ka-spacers, another possible solution to the Fermi paradox kung bakit wala pa ho tayong nare-receive na response from these intelligent extraterrestrial civilizations is this, that meron mga ka-spacers, there are civilizations, intelligent civilizations out there in the observable universe. Kaya lang, baka they are deliberately avoiding us. Iniiwasan po nila tayo. Or they are hiding their existence from us. Nagtatago sila, or probably nagdi-disguise sila like one of us. Or we just haven't found them yet. Baka hindi pa ho natin sila nadidiscover. So, posible po ito, na kaya ang dahilan kung bakit hindi sila nagre-respond or wala tayong maramdaman na existence ng intelligent extraterrestrial life, baka iniiwasan po nila tayo. Or, posible rin na they are hiding their existence from us. Baka nagdi-disguise sila like one of us. Baka yung katabi po ninyo o yung kaibigan ninyo ay intelligent extraterrestrial being. Hindi po natin alam. Or wala pa ho tayong nadidiscover na ganyan. We just haven't found them yet. So yun po yung mga reasons kung bakit wala ho tayong nare-receive na response at wala tayong maramdaman na presence of these intelligent extraterrestrial life. Yun po yung Fermi paradox. So mga ka-spacers, the million-dollar question now is, are we alone in the universe? Is the human race unique? So yun po yung mga katanungan na dapat po natin sagutin. And if you will recall, NASA had sent the Voyager space probes. And ngayon po yung Voyager 1 and 2 ay nasa labas na po ng solar system. The Voyager space probes para po yung Earth's message in a bottle. Now each Voyager space probe mga ka-spacers ay meron niyang golden disk. And yung mga golden disk na yan is a type of time capsule with information chosen by a committee headed by Carl Sagan. The committee came up with 115 images and variety of natural sounds of planet Earth such as birds, thunder, yung mga whales. It also included greetings in 55 languages from around the world. And yun po ay naka-record dun sa golden disc na yan. So hopefully mga ka-spacers, the two Voyager space probes that are now out there in intergalactic space, hopefully they would be picked up by some intelligent extraterrestrial life forms. Kaya yun po yung inaasahan natin. That's why the Voyager space probes, we can label it as Earth's message in a bottle. Para pag napulot yan ng mga intelligent extraterrestrial life, ay makikilala po nila tayo. And baka sana ay magparamdam po sila. Alright, so I guess that's about it mga ka-spacers sa ating talk about intelligent extraterrestrial life. So to end our discussion of astrobiology, I would like to leave this message. We have only one Earth and we probably won't have other ones for a long time. So we should take care of our planet Earth. Alright mga ka-spacers, so I guess that's about it for our astrobiology series. So sana po marami po kayong natutunan sa 4 na episodes dun sa ating astrobiology series ng COSMOQUEST, a podcast. So mga ka-spacers, bilang tulong nyo na rin po sa amin dito sa Vedan Society of Young Astronomers, please like and share itong video so that we could reach more people, lalong-lalo na po yung mga estudyante, so that they would be engaged in the sciences. Please follow our Facebook page, the Vedan Society of Young Astronomers. Please follow also the Facebook page of the Skywatcher Society of Las Piñas, and also follow my Facebook page, the Science Guy Ka-Spacers channel. Yan, bilang tulong nyo na rin po sa amin yan para mapagpatuloy po namin ang aming advocacy to spread the good news of science, lalong-lalo na po ang astronomy. And also, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Science Guy Prof Jun CAJIGAL, para mapagpatuloy po natin itong ating advocacy. So maraming salamat po and hope to see you in our next episode of COSMOQUEST, a podcast. This is your ka-spacer and space commander, Professor Jun CAJIGAL, saying live long and prosper. Marami pong salamat sa mga tumutok ngayon dito sa ating episode ng COSMOQUEST. Marami pong salamat in behalf of the officers and crew of the Vedan Society of Young Astronomers. So see you in our next episode of COSMOQUEST. Stay safe everybody, and don't forget to always keep your space. Bye-bye for now. See you in our next episode of COSMOQUEST, a podcast.
Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone.